Last week we spoke about, well, if you want to get into meditation, you need to know a little bit about the mind. You need to know a little bit about the mind. And and I want to just move him a little bit more, put a little bit more flesh on those kind of skeleton that we set up. So when we begin to meditate, we realize that, there are these occasionally where our focus has gone somewhere else, right? So our focus has gone somewhere else. And it's normally either a sound outside that takes us out, or 9 times out of 10, it's a thought. Now, if you try and hold on to a thought, it's very difficult. But what thoughts do is they create a story. It's easier to hold on to a story than to a thought. And that story becomes part and parcel of what you perceive to be yourself. And that story can then be a story that takes you towards craving, takes you towards anger, because unless you create a story, you can't really get angry. Think about it. You go into another country, you don't know the language, and they begin to swear at you. What difference does it make? You don't know any different. You don't know any difference because there's no meaning to it. So you can't put a story to it. You need a story to make sure that you realize constantly off. It's this constant torrent of thoughts. But yet you can't hold on to a thought. The moment you're into it, like a little gap. There's a tiny little gap. And that gap sometimes becomes just a little bit wider. Enough for you to realize who you are. That's the moment you'll get a little glimpse. You'll get a little glimpse. So at the moment, through our awakening in different ways, we are awakening to different things. Part of this awakening is awakening to ourselves. So the purpose of meditation is one, to recognize the mind. And how do you recognize the mind? Well, it's just a collection of thoughts. Once you begin to recognize it, there are three things that will change. One, desire. Your craving. You'll begin to see it. It's more open. There it is. Or the second one is anger. You begin to see anger. You begin to see how you react in certain situations, how you create a story. It is only through your story you get attached. Think about it. It's your mobile phone, or it's your car, or it's your this, or it's your that. It's only your thoughts that are telling you that. Yeah, tomorrow you sell your mobile phone, it's no longer yours because your story's changed. These stories, we never question them. We believe them. And through meditation, you get little glimpses that you can step out of the story just for a moment. That's when you know you've had a bit of peace, right? Now, there are certain qualities that you begin to experience. Quality of your experience. All your suffering, all of it, and mine, is based on our stories. Don't like someone, we tell ourselves a story that we don't like them, and then we get vexed up about it. Do you know what I mean? Think about it. We give prominence to those things which are irrelevant because we don't recognize that these stories that we've been telling ourselves are robbing us. They're robbing us of life. Those stories that you're telling yourself, those stories that you're involved in, are that which creates your pain and your pleasure. Nothing else. Just a story. You like this or you don't like this. And then by repeating a particular kind of story, like for example, you're born in a let's say, a Christian household. Well, your story is Christian. Born in a Sikh household, story is Sikh. Your stories are influenced by others. In fact, they're created by others. And the more importance you give to the others, the stronger your story becomes to try and please them. Yeah? You can't do this because it's not compliant. You got to please them. It's to do with the story. And the story can make you do things that you may regret. But one thing for sure the story will do is to rob you of life. If we live in that drama and we forget that, life is good, life is a gift, life is a happening, life has an end date, life will not repeat. This moment will never come again, ever, ever, ever. Yet now is always here, the paradox of time. So, in meditation, we begin to first recognize all this mental rubbish that's out there for all of us. And then you begin to step back every so often, glimpses in between the story. Those glimpses are the moments you feel a bit of peace. If you've felt peace in your meditation, you've been there. As you begin to hold these moments, they become moments, become minutes, minutes become hours, hours become days, days becomes life. Doesn't mean you become a monk. All it means is you are not living in the story. As we begin to go these little glimpses, these glimpses are also part of you, what it's called in the East, the boat. You're creating your boat. Now, this may not make sense now, but it'll make sense in life. That every time we become present, every time we become present, we are creating a state of consciousness. We are creating a boat that doesn't change. The importance of this boat, and we should go there, but I will glimpse there for a moment. The importance of this boat is this: none of you or me can deny the fact that you can't stop having an experience. Whether you're asleep, whether you're knocked out, whether you're awake, whether you're dreaming, you cannot stop having an experience, can you? Think about it. Even when you're asleep, you're experiencing sleep because you wake up and you know you've had a good sleep. So, just as life is being experienced, the other side of life may also be experienced. This boat that you create, of course, it helps us with life. Meditation reduces mental illness. More importantly, far more importantly, meditation is preparation. It's preparation for life, beyond life, and afterlife. Rebirth, whatever you want to believe, makes no difference. But you realize the quality of life. Through meditation, you realize everything is a cycle. You realize everything is not just a cycle, but it follows a rhythm. That rhythm to it. Your breath has sound to it. All that's around you that you can hear is only because there is silence around you. So everything that is alive, happening, existing is a form of sound. Life begins to take a different perspective. We move away from this story, which is always, well, at the moment, is functioning on two kind of ends of a spectrum. One is survival, and the other is identity. I am an influencer. I am a this, I am a that, whatever it is. There are just so many visions now. Everyone needs to become something. That identity. Of those limit how you interact with life because you're self-absorbed. Survival, we're in fear. Identity, we're in competition. Both of them are not conducive to the life of peace, good life, just a reasonable, harmonious life. So, by meditation, our worldview begins to go from this identity survival space to a more unified space. And it comes with understanding. And the first question that I normally allow people to contemplate on is, what did you have? What influence did you have in you being created? Are you not the byproduct of two other people? So which bit is yours? Fundamental question. Which bit is yours that you can give me? Your breath? Your heart? No, you have to recognize what you are. Ultimately, meditation will take you beyond these little layers like onion, where you realize that there is no difference between you and this ocean. There just is no difference. You are everything only for this moment, forever, never to repeat itself. So taking life for granted is part of the storytelling. Realizing life for what it is brings us to a different form of compassion. So you must have heard of self-compassion, right? It's a bit narcissistic, but it's there, it's good. So it's always about, compassion is always about suffering. Suffering induces compassion. When you suffer, you bring compassion to yourself. Hey, let me look at myself. Yeah, I'm a human being. Yeah, be easy on ourselves. Self-compassion or another. But the roots of compassion are suffering. Yeah, suffering. But there's another compassion. And this compassion is the karuna. It's called karuna, not metta, karuna, which is a much bigger compassion. And that compassion is, this moment will never come again. And it's the realization of the tide. I can ride the wave. We change the perspective. And by changing the perspective, our life transforms. So three things that will change. One is desire, changes. Two, why? Because desire needs thoughts. Say for example, you see me having a chocolate. Now you know to go and get yourself a chocolate. You need to bring yourself a story. Oh, I could do with that. Well, that looks rather tasty. Oh, I haven't had a chocolate like that. Oh, why did he have to do that? You have to come up with a story in order to motivate you. So desire changes because you see the story. The second is your attachment changes. So this is always a difficult situation because then people say, well, you're a bit selfish. But that's not true. You aren't running away from life. You're turning your back on the trivial, on that which doesn't serve you, that which takes you away from yourself. You say, no, it doesn't serve me. You don't tolerate it. Yeah, just say, no, sorry, not going to tolerate it. It's not my cup of tea. That's it. Need to turn your back to it. No? Out of that, people then begin to recognize that, you know what, I used to have all these dramas and used to get involved in them, and now you don't. So there is always this other space which you may get accused of, which is, well, I think you're a bit selfish. But it's okay, you know. We don't take these things personally. And the third thing that changes is your notion of who I am, what I am. beyond your name, beyond your thoughts. So Descartes, who's the philosopher upon which most Western civilization is based on, asked the question, I think, or said the statement, I think, therefore I am. Because I can think, therefore I exist. But the real question is, when I'm not thinking, then who am I? We have to turn the other way around. When I am devoid of thoughts, who am I? So these moments of satori, these little glimpses, then become the boat. And that boat is what's called samadhi, being present, yeah, where time changes. So, just moving on the theme of meditation, in order to know meditation, you need to know the mind, the structure of the mind, what it's doing, and then you need to recognize the self-compassion level, then on ethics, emotional wisdom, whole process to this. It's not just like switching a light on. Okay, I think I've given some insight into that, maybe make some, sense of it. If not, such is life. So we'll get into our meditation. So as usual, we always begin with the body, and then so your intention is to be present, right? Just to be present to yourself. You're not trying to get into a state or anything like that. You just want to say, all right this moment, what's going on with myself? So adjust your posture. So let's look at the posture. Bring your back up, make sure it's straight and upright, but don't make it rigid. And it's quite a deliberate thing that we're doing. And we just pull them back ever so slightly so the chest feels open. Okay. Making sure the arms and hands are comfortable wherever they are. And then if you pull your neck, your chin in slightly, you will notice that the neck is stretched somewhat. And you make sure that you're in a comfortable position, but your neck, head, and spine are aligned. Yeah, you're not slouching. And eyes are closed, mouth is closed, unless you can't breathe in through your nose. As you draw your breath in, bring your focus to yourself. Begin to notice what's going on with you. First, notice the body. Notice your posture. No judgment, no commentary. Just notice the posture. Notice if there's any discomfort anywhere. And to help you do this, imagine there's a hula hoop above your head. As it moves down, it begins to scan your body. All the way down. And then notice if there's anything dominant in the body itself. Ache, pain, tightness, itch. Locate, no commentary, no judgment. Next breath in, bring your focus now to the chair that you're on, the seat that you're on. And allow it to hold you, which means you can afford to relax a little bit, soften a bit. Again, making sure that your awareness remains at the contact between the chair and the body. And you will notice that there are sensations there. The sensation of pressure. As you breathe in, bring this focus upwards so you become aware of your hips. Remember, we're having a look at what's going on with us. No commentary, no judgment, just sensations. Are there any aches there? Are there any pains there? And if there is, we locate it. We don't judge it. And then moving your focus down your thighs, from your knees, you move down towards your ankles. Again, noticing anything around the calf as you go towards your ankle. From your ankles, move your focus now towards your feet. From your feet, move your focus to the soles of your feet. Okay? Next breath in, bring your focus back to the chair or the floor you're on. Notice your back. Next breath in, bring your focus upward so you go from your lower back towards your middle back. Noticing just the sensations. That's all we're doing. Middle back moving up towards your shoulder blades. Simply scanning your body. Bringing your focus now towards your shoulders. From your shoulders, allow this awareness to move down towards your elbows. From your elbows, you move down towards your wrists. Notice the palms of your hands. Hold your focus there for a while. Moving your focus now towards your fingers. Gently bring your focus now towards your eyes. Notice the darkness. Becoming aware of the awareness itself. That you have awareness of the back of your eyelids. Just like you will have awareness of your thoughts. As you breathe out, allow this part of the body, your eyes, to soften. Bringing your focus now towards your mouth. Notice the sensations within your mouth. The roof of your mouth. Inside your mouth cheeks. And then notice your tongue. Scanning it from the back all the way towards the tip. Allowing it to soften. Allowing it to simply rest. And then as you breathe out, allowing your face to soften and relax. Next breath in. Once again, bringing your focus to your body as best as you can. Notice if there's anything dominant in the body. Any sensation that particularly draws your focus. Next breath in, bringing your focus to your inner space, meaning your thoughts and your feeling, your general sense of feeling. So bring your focus towards your thoughts. Give your mind permission to think whatever it wants to think while you notice. How does your mental space feel? Alert or drowsy? Tired or clear? Gently bringing your focus now towards your chest. And just sit with your breath. Notice the chest moving up. Notice the chest moving down. As the chest moves up, as the breath draws in, notice there are sensations around the ribs. Subtle. See if you can notice them. Notice the sensations around the back. Notice the subtleness of those sensations. And now bringing this focus a bit deeper into yourself, right into the center of your very chest, your very core. And as you hold your awareness there, notice how you're actually feeling right now. This moment. Is this moment enough for you? Just this moment. Do you feel settled? This moment, moment by moment. Do you feel at peace? Or are you anxious, unsettled? How do you feel? Or how you think you feel? Are you suffering or is there an absence of suffering? Next breath out, moving your focus away from from yourself. Begin to hear the sounds around you. Allow them to come to you. Notice how awareness expands, moving from the chest and now aware of all the sounds, the noises around it. Listening. Just listening. listening. And if a thought comes, notice the thought, begin to listen. Gently bring your focus now just beneath your nose. Begin to notice the movement of your breath. Your commitment to yourself is to hold your focus just beneath your nose as best as you can. Use the breath as an anchor, a magnetic anchor that holds your focus. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Let go. Notice the in-breath as it comes in. Notice the out-breath as it goes out. Nothing more to do at the moment. Notice the in-breath as a start, middle, end. Out-breath as a start, middle, end. Follow your out-breath all the way till the end. Notice when it finishes completely. And as you follow your out-breath, allow your body to soften. Allow your awareness to be present. Allowing yourself to get deeper into the moment of now. Following your out-breath all the way till the end. Notice how you're breathing now. How does the breath feel? Are you breathing slow or are you breathing fast? Does your breath feel long or does it feel short? Does your breath feel light? Does it feel heavy? Stay with your breath. Now, as best as you can, see if you can bring your focus to the sound of your breath. Listening to your breath as intently as you can. Don't struggle. Listening. Listening to the breath as it comes in, goes out. Next breath out. Once again, opening your awareness to all the sounds around you. Listening just as intently, allowing any sound to come to you. When we use the sound, we'll allow our awareness to ride the sound of the bell into the silence. Listening. Gently bring your focus just beneath your nose and sit with your breath in silence. Bring your focus to the quality of your experience. Notice what's going on with you. Do you feel anxious or do you feel calm? If you feel peace, notice the peace. If you feel silent, notice the silence. Notice what's missing. Anxiety, mental traffic. Do you feel safe? Do you feel supported? Do you feel secure? On your next breath out, expand your awareness, becoming aware of the whole body as best as you can. Notice how the body feels. You're still sitting in the place you began. Your seat holds you in place. Sensations where your body makes contact with your chair or the floor. Then you can use your awareness to move down your thighs, from your knees, moving down to your ankles, becoming a bit present to the body. From your ankles, coming to your feet. Notice your toes. And notice the soles of your feet. Coming back to the seat, your back is straight and upright. Shoulders, arms, and hands are comfortable and relaxed. Notice that your eyes are closed. Your mouth is closed and your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. And now, as the breath comes in, you can sense your body. As the breath goes out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you sense your body. Breathing out, you sense your body. Take a moment to thank yourself, to take this moment for yourself, to find your peace. Just the intention to smile helps change the internal environment. Breathing in, you sense your body. Breathing out, you sense your body. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few slow, deep breaths in, and then in your own good time, gently opening your eyes. Take your time.